Dear Diary, I recently spoke with someone who said they do not believe souls exist. They said they need proof before they can believe that souls are real. So one night, I asked my dream friend how one could prove that souls exist. Let me tell you what he said. I want to share this with you, my dear diary, because this can help people open their eyes and hearts and step outside Plato's cave. I have told you before that my dream friend likes to use analogies when he explains things to me. When I asked him to give me proof that souls exist, he smiled in his mysterious way that I have come to know and love. He said that in order to step outside Plato's cave, one must first allow oneself to believe that there can be more to this world than what is observed through the senses of this biological body. We only have access to a very narrow, limited part of the universe with our human senses. Beyond that narrow field of view, there are things that we cannot imagine in our human form. Let me tell you a little story, my dream friend said. It is a story about radio waves, scientists, souls, and how important it is to always keep one's mind open to the possibility of the impossible. Before the existence of electromagnetic radiation was discovered, people had no idea that they were living in the middle of a sea of invisible waves. Before a radio transmitter was invented and people had become familiar with using radio, had you told someone that people were living in the middle of a sea of invisible waves, they would have said you were crazy. Electromagnetic radiation was something that most people could not even imagine at that time. Yet today, everyone knows it exists, even when they cannot see most of it with their eyes. So, how could you prove to those people at that time that electromagnetic waves do exist? By building a receiver that can detect those mysterious invisible waves. In other words, by building a radio. Once the radio existed, it was easy to demonstrate even to non-believers that electromagnetic radiation, including radio waves, indeed does exist. So, in order to build a radio transmitter, one had to first take a leap of faith, so to speak, and form a hypothesis that this strange electromagnetic radiation exists in the first place. My dream friend paused and looked at me carefully, as if to make sure I understood what he had just said. Then he continued. It is the same thing regarding souls. The fact that the exact nature of a given phenomena is not yet known to science does not mean it is not real. To think that something is not real simply because it is not yet fully understood by science would, in fact, be quite short-sighted. If one thinks like that, one is unable to think outside the box, and one can never make exciting new discoveries. Consider one of the greatest scientists among humans. If Albert Einstein had not dared to proceed with developing the theory of relativity, just because most people thought the idea was stupid, people would not have access to all the understanding and technology they have today. In the beginning, the scientific community was skeptical regarding Einstein's theory. Only later, as science advanced, was it possible to prove with actual experiments that his ideas were indeed correct. The same is true for many other things in this world, my dream friend said. And definitely, it is true for souls. This world is a mysterious, amazing place, full of wonders that are yet unknown to the scientists of this planet. And one such wonder is this biological body and the soul that inhabits it. This biological form allows souls to have this human experience. My dream friend paused and touched my hand lightly. Only later did I realize how strange it was that a figure from a dream should be able to actually touch me. That, my dear diary, made me feel even more strongly that my dream friend is more than the product of my imagination. But I will tell you more about that later. So, he touched my hand lightly and said, "This form is you, and yet at the same time, you are so much more than this biological matter." His eyes started to shine even more than they normally do. "You are a little universe," he said. "You are a soul experiencing this world with the help of this biological form. You are in the middle of a unique, precious journey. I know you are often uncertain and even afraid of many things. But you need not worry. I will be with you every step of the way in this experience." My dear soul friend, you who are listening to my diary entry right now, you and I are both in the middle of a unique learning experience, and we are part of each other's journey. I am so happy that I can share my thoughts with you. My diary is a connector between us. I will talk to you again soon. There is so much more I want to tell you. For now, thank you for being there, and thank you for listening.